Hey everyone, Justin here, Taming Type 1. Today I'd like to give you an update on my OMAD 1 meal a day experiment. Recently I made a video talking about how I've been trying an OMAD approach, where basically, for well over a month, I was eating just 1 meal a day. And that meal was typically a pound of steak, some butter, maybe an egg or two. But it was a very large meal once a day rather than twice, 3 times, or more. And the idea was if I need to eat less throughout the day, if I'm just having one meal rather than two, or three, or four, that means less variables, and that means better blood sugars because that'd be more predictable. There'd be less chance of error, and so on. And I want to give you an update on that because I actually stopped doing the OMAD experiment. In this video, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you what happened to me and why I now do 2 meals a day instead. So why did I leave OMAD? OMAD was incredibly convenient. It was a very tasty approach too. I never got tired of eating steak. You know, who can? Especially when you're like me and you're a master griller and you're just amazing at making it the perfectly rare. I never got tired of it. And it was nice having that extra time during my lunch break in order to do other things because I don't eat lunch. It was great. But here's the problem, and this is specifically for us type 1 diabetics. The big problem with OMAD was that it was just too much protein at once. A pound of steak, even with the fat cap still on it, which it was, is still a lot of protein in one sitting. And unfortunately, even when I was splitting my bolus, I was still suffering highs in the middle of the night. Around 2 a.m., my blood sugar would start going up. And unless I wanted to start waking up at 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning in order to correct that before it happens, I was dead out of luck. And it seemed like no matter what I do, this would keep happening. It seems like just having that much protein at once causes a very long lingering effect. And this is a precaution anyone eating a ton of protein at once. The more protein you eat at once, the greater the effect's going to be, and likely the longer it's going to last. So if you're like me and you're on a carnivore approach and you're eating mostly meat, you might need to try splitting your bolus. And if you're having a pound of meat, you might need to try not just splitting it into 2 doses, but maybe even 3. Unfortunately, since OMAD can only be done for my schedule at dinner time, it just didn't work for me. I didn't want to have to wake up at 2 in the morning to take an extra shot because that protein was still affecting me 8 hours later. Now, maybe if you did your meal during lunch or during breakfast, and you figure out how to dose multiple times in order to take care of that lingering protein effect, maybe it'll work for you. But it wasn't working for me. So now instead I'm doing 2MAD, where instead of eating 1 pound once a day, I'm eating half a pound twice a day. Now I'm still having to split my bolus for that, and I'll actually go over my specific insulin regimen and how you can do it yourself later on. But it's actually working a lot better for me this way. I'm able to keep much more stable blood sugars, and when I was doing the OMAD experiment, my A1C ended up being about 5.8, which isn't bad compared to other diabetics, but I wanted to do better than that. And now that I switched to a 2MAD approach instead, I've been able to level my blood sugars much better, and my estimated A1C, based on the statistics on my Dariometer, is around 5%. So if that matches my actual A1C, that means I'm doing better now, doing 2 meals a day rather than 1. And I've seen a lot of people saying that they actually do a lot better, specifically on a carnivore approach with more frequent, smaller meals. Now, it's inconvenient, and I don't like admitting that maybe the doctors were right about this one, maybe smaller meals are better. But in the situation of high protein consumption, it could be very well the case that it is easier to handle smaller amounts of protein more frequently than a giant amount of protein at once. So, what do you guys think? Are you doing an OMAD approach right now? If so, tell us how you're doing it. I'd love to know. Whatever kind of approach you're doing, comment below. Let us know how you're doing it, and I'll see you next time. That's all for now as far as taming type 1 goes. Would I still recommend OMAD? Eh, maybe it can work, but not so late in the day. It wasn't working for me so late in the day. I now recommend probably sticking to at least 2 meals, especially if you're eating a lot of protein at once. But again, that's all for now. You have a wonderful day, everyone. Keep taming that type 1, and however many meals you're having a day, I hope you find something that works well for you.